Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines comes to you compliments. Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
From GBN, this is Network News for Thursday, July 11, 2024. In the headlines, police investigating the death of Hope St. Andrew resident Devon Francis. New date issued for CARICOM Heads of Government meeting. Blue Select team arrives in Grenada to assist with the restoration of electricity. Also in the news, regionally, Trinidad and Tobago's reconstituted National Committee on Reparations seeking justice for slavery. Internationally, Kenyan president dismisses most members of his cabinet after weeks of protests. Plus, in the sports news, Rising Stars Under-19 tournament bowls off in St. Vincent, while West Indies suffer another trying day at Lord's. Good evening from the Grenadian capital. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. We are reporting the day's news.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments. Soft Weave bathroom tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Thanks for joining us. The body of Devon Francis was found in his home in Hope St. Andrew this morning, sending the community into mourning. Rena Ped Thomas was on the scene and sent us this report.
Martina Francis was in dismay as she cried out for her son Devon Francis, whose body was found this morning at his home. According to unconfirmed reports from individuals in the vicinity, Devon was discovered lying in his bed with what appears to be bullet wounds. In a press release issued by the Community Relations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, officers responded swiftly to a call at around 7 a.m. on Thursday, alerting them of the discovery. On arrival at the location, they observed the motionless body of a male lying on his back inside of a building and observed a small puncture wound to his chest. The body was identified as Devon Francis, a 49-year-old shopkeeper of Hope St. Andrew. He was examined by a medical doctor and pronounced dead. Devon's mother, who was in emotional anguish, told our news team that the tragic death of her son has left her in shock. She recalled the last time she saw him and described how loving he was to her.
Devon is everything to me. I was very sick, very sick. I had everything, my heart attack, I had a lot of complaints. Devon was the man that stand with me in everything. Ivan was in the garage. All morning he rent vehicle to see after me, up and down in the hospital. He was everything to me. When I say everything, everything to me. He sent a lady to take care of me, bathe me, wipe me, all part of my body, because I couldn't do nothing. That son of mine, he ain't dead. He coming back. He ain't dead. Devon, I wish you all the best, my son. But Dory, you will see me. Oh, Devon. Yesterday morning, about after 10, come out and pay Susu. He come and rub me head. He said, Mommy, you good? I say, yes. He said, you all right? You had breakfast? I say, yes, son. He said, well, I'll go in and see if I catch me $1. So who is this? Why they do that?
Devon was a popular shop owner in the area and a former bus conductor on the St. David route. The RGPF has launched an investigation into the circumstances surrounding Francis' death. An autopsy is expected to be done in the coming days to determine the cause of death. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Well, Grenada stands to benefit from $5 million from the United Nations and its partners following their launch of a $9 million response plan to the devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl. Beverly Telesford has this report.
This response plan aims to raise at least $9 million, $5 million for Grenada and $5 million for St. Vincent and the Grenadines to deliver critical humanitarian assistance to 24,000 individuals in Grenada and 19,000 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. These figures are initial estimates and funding projections that will undergo further review as new details emerge in damage and loss assessments. Obtaining precise numbers poses a challenge due to ongoing assessments amidst logistical, power and communication disruptions, including intermittent power outages. UN resident coordinator for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Mr. Simon Springett, said the need for financial aid became particularly clear when he witnessed the devastation of the islands firsthand last week.
What Grenada and the St. Vincent and the Grenadines need right now is international financial support and global solidarity. And I hope through this press briefing and interactions with these prime ministers, these requirements will become even more clear.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell highlighted the need for having funding readily available prior to the occurrence of catastrophic events such as Beryl to eliminate the wait time between the impact of the disaster and granting of relief funding.
The reality is that we need funds with a quick disbursement period post-hurricane. In the ideal situation, and we make this call now, we should in fact have funding in place even before the event so that we can respond immediately. The conversation on sustainable development calls for the creation of new facilities that will give us, as small island developing states, on the forefront of the climate crisis, the flexibility to have fast access to grant funds.
Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, said while they are grateful for the immense support received thus far, it does not come close to the amount lost in the storm.
We're working together in the Caribbean community, and our friends and allies globally have come to our aid. But the truth is this, that the resources required are beyond what has been proffered thus far. We are grateful for whatever assistance we have received thus far, but this relief effort would require substantial resources because people are going to have to be kept with income support and production support for a significant period of time while we clean up and while we seek to rebuild.
Hurricane Beryl made landfall in both countries on the 1st of July, marking a foreboarding start to the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. Carriacou, Petite Martinique, and Union Island suffered extensive damage to most of their buildings. Aid organizations are currently assessing the full scope of the destruction. The response plan will focus on immediate life-saving measures and early recovery efforts. The UN and its partners are supporting the government's response, prioritizing shelter, food, and healthcare as critical needs. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
The 47th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, will now be held from July 28 to 30 in Grenada. The meeting, originally scheduled for July 3 to 5, was postponed due to the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Grenada is hosting the conference as it continues to celebrate its 50th anniversary of independence. This meeting of the conference is also being held held 35 years since the signing of the Grand Dance Declaration, which set in motion CARICOM's transition to a single market and economy. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, the incoming chairman of CARICOM, has been speaking about the preparations to welcome his regional colleagues.
I take this opportunity to extend my deepest gratitude to all member states, associate members, regional institutions, and the dedicated citizens of the Caribbean who continue to contribute to the success of our Caribbean community. And I welcome you, on behalf of all Grenadians, to our country, the spice of the Caribbean, where I know you will enjoy a warm welcome and the tranquility of our tri-island state.
Secretary General of CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett, said these meetings of the conference provide another opportunity for CARICOM heads of government to engage in focused discussions on critical issues that impact the welfare and well-being of the people of the community.
Representatives of civil society, the private sector, and young people have been invited to add their perspective to some of our discussions. During the meeting, we will formally welcome Curaçao as the 6th associate member of CARICOM. As is customary, heads of government will engage with a special guest. At this meeting, the special guest will be the Right Honorable Patricia Scotland, Secretary General of the Commonwealth. A special feature of the meeting's opening ceremony will be the conferral of the community's highest honor, the Order of the Caribbean Community, on Sir Clive Lloyd of Guyana and Mr. Roderick Rainford of Jamaica. CARICOM heads of government are fully engaged in ensuring that this meeting will advance a regional approach to building resilience and development and contribute to enhancing the quality of life and well-being of the men, women, and young people of the Caribbean community.
All right, so the opening ceremony will take place at St. George's University, while business sessions will be held at Radisson Grenada Beach Resort. We saw it in the aftermath of Hurricane Ivan in 2004. Now we're seeing it in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. The Lou Select team is in Grenada, working from Hermitage to Mount Rich, restoring electricity.
GrenLec just wants to welcome Team Lou Select to assist us once again. Lou Select assisted us back in 2004. In fact, we have a team member here who is returning to Grenada. Ricky is returning. He was here in 2004 and assisted us very well. And Lou Select is back again to assist us in 2024. So we thank Lou Select for their assistance again. And this is the spirit that we have within the CARILEC community, where we help each other in time of need.
We are in Grenada right now to assist in line construction after Hurricane Beryl. My team consists of myself and 5 other linemen. 3 guys from our contractors and the other 2 linemen from Lou Select self. I'm fully confident with the team that I have there. We at Lou Select have maintained a reputation overseas in hurricane restoration work. And I am expecting that the same will happen this time. And we are trying to produce as much as possible and try to restore supply to as much community as possible. This is our main aim, to just restore supply and to have customers being powered up.
Thank you, Lou Select. Still to come in Network News, Grenada needs volunteers for Hurricane Beryl relief efforts on the sister isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Stay with us.
Sound the alarm! Get your posse ready as the Spice Mass Corporation presents the highly anticipated Groovy and Power Soca Prelims. Groovy and Power Soca Prelims. Date for the Groovy Soca Prelims, Wednesday, July 10th to Friday, July 12th on the Tantin Netball Court. And the Power Soca Prelims kicks off this Saturday, July 13th to Monday, July 15th on the Lassages Hard Court in St. David's. Admission only $10. Showtime 8 p.m. sharp. It's Soca and Mo Soca. It's the Groovy and Power Soca Prelims. Don't miss the experience.
Running a business is hard. Running a creative business, that's 10 times harder. The Grenada Office of Creative Affairs understands the unique challenges creative entrepreneurs face, especially when it comes to securing financing. That's why they have partnered with the Grenada Development Bank to launch the Creative and Cultural Industries Business Development Fund. Hello. Designed specifically for creative entrepreneurs like you and me. Unlock your full potential with our tailored financing options. Access loans of up to $50,000 at just 2% interest, empowering you to upgrade and expand your business. Receive business support vouchers of up to $5,000 to enhance your business plans, financial strategies, or marketing efforts. But that's not all. Nonprofits and community-based projects can secure grants of up to $25,000. So, what are you waiting for? Make the call today and learn how you can finance your dreams. Contact the Grenada Development Bank and unleash your creativity.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Apply for a Home Easy Loan today for a chance to win a cash prize. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Terms and conditions apply.
Paying is faster and easier with Glow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
A whole new level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Ride in style with an easy ride loan from Ariza. Enjoy the comfort and convenience of your own vehicle for work or play. You've got places to go, and we're gonna help you get there easy. Enjoy competitive interest rates, specials on insurance, and offers from auto dealers. Ariza also has great offers on electric and fuel-efficient used and new vehicles. Apply for an easy ride loan from Ariza and drive away in style.
With just $2, you can gift yourself with a chance to win the Lotto jackpot. Now, imagine winning the National Lotteries Authority jackpot of $54,000. Why pass upon this winning opportunity? Lotto, play and win a lot of money.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Rebecca Television Center. In the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl, the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation and Transformation will be spearheading a cleanup campaign on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique this weekend. Here's what we can tell you. The initiative will tackle the significant amount of debris left scattered across the islands. The cleanup campaign will focus on removing debris, clearing blocked roads, and assisting with the overall restoration process. Volunteers from the mainland are being called upon to join the effort and support the residents of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. The ministry emphasizes the importance of solidarity and community spirit in these trying times, encouraging individuals to contribute their time and energy to the cleanup effort. Interested individuals can register to volunteer by contacting Yvonne Gibbs on 415-0573. 415-0573. Volunteers must be 18 years or older and able-bodied, as they will be required to carry out heavy lifting and operate equipment. The ministry has also arranged transportation for volunteers through the Osprey Shuttle, which is scheduled to leave at 6 a.m. on July 13 and 14. Boarding time, 5 a.m. This weekend's cleanup campaign represents a vital step in the recovery effort and strengthening the community spirit in the face of adversity. Following the severe devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl, scrutiny has been raised about building code compliance. The flattening of numerous houses and other buildings has dealt a significant blow to the economy, with losses amounting to hundreds of millions of dollars. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell emphasized the need for the rebuilding process to include resilience by way of higher construction standards.
This disaster will have a major impact on the fiscal and financial and economic situation of Grenada. We are talking hundreds of millions of dollars in losses and hundreds of millions of dollars to rebuild. So this is going to be a long and difficult situation. We are exploring all options as to how we will finance the cleanup, the relief efforts, and the rebuilding. It's factored into it. We cannot repair and build new or repair old buildings without ensuring that we comply with strict building codes that allows us to minimize losses arising from these hurricanes.
Referencing Hurricane Beryl being the most powerful hurricane in June, the start of the Atlantic hurricane season, Prime Minister Mitchell said this is a stark outlook of what can occur in the future due to the impact of climate change.
We also need to appreciate that the hurricanes are not going away. All indications are that they will become stronger and that they will become more frequent. And as we can see, there is a real risk of them happening even earlier in the hurricane season. So part of our financing and recovery efforts must focus on ensuring that we build resilient infrastructure and that we build resilient homes and other buildings to withstand not just hurricanes, but all of the other challenges that we face in this part of the world.
Meanwhile, the CARICOM Secretariat at a recent workshop highlighted the urgent impact of climate change on small island developing states, SIDS, leading to a significant displacement, especially after Hurricane Beryl. Here's the report.
Thousands remain without power and many are in temporary shelters in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada. At a workshop in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, CARICOM Secretariat Assistant Secretary General Alison Drayton emphasized the need for a comprehensive regional migration policy.
It is very evident that the region has been facing and will continue to face various challenges that affect all of the lives and livelihoods of our citizens. Coming from climate change, the last week has been a very unwelcome reminder of the challenges. But I think provides an impetus to us to move speedily on elaborating the framework.
Drayton stressed the role of climate change in migration and reaffirmed CARICOM's commitment to addressing this issue collaboratively.
I wish to reiterate the community's commitment, the Secretariat's commitment to work with all present and those yet to come on board to implement a forward-thinking regional migration policy that would help address various aspects of regional migration and human mobility as determined by your priorities as members.
The event was held from July 8th to the 10th under the theme Towards a Regional Approach to a Migration Policy in the Caribbean, Realizing a Shared Vision. It brought together national focal points from CARICOM member states and representatives from regional and international organizations.
The migration that we see today in the Caribbean community and around the world is complex, dynamic, and mixed. Today's migration flows include not only short-term visitors and economic migrants, but also refugees and asylum seekers. The drivers of this migration and displacement in the Caribbean are just as complex, dynamic, and mixed, and include not only poverty and inequality, but also structural violence and climate-related events. Please know that as we work together to manage historical levels of human mobility, the United States remains committed to promoting safe, orderly, humane, and regular migration and access to international protection.
The workshop was supported by the United Nations Migration Group, U.S. Department of State, the European Union, and the Inter-American Development Bank. Solange Alfred, HDS News Force.
It's time for GBN, so stay with us.
Our citizen journalist tonight captured the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl on the Limbless solar plant in Carriacou. According to officials, the plant was designed to withstand harsh weather conditions, including a Category 4 hurricane and wind speeds of up to 170 miles per hour. Beryl struck the island as a Category 4 hurricane on Monday, July 1st, with winds of up to 150 miles per hour, destroying the solar plant completely. We thank our citizen journalist for that submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
This is Network News. We invite you to stay with us. Still to come, Labukan's I Do is back this weekend. We'll talk about that.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians, from wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up up several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
It's the Quartz Appliance event. Cook it, fry it, bake it on a new Mabe stove for only $1,799. Stack it, pack it, and chill it with a Frigidaire 4-mount fridge for $2,749. Laundry piling up? Wash it, spin it, dry it in a Frigidaire 17-kilogram washing machine top, only $2,399. Get it now and pay later. It's the Quartz Appliance event, only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends July 24th, 2024. Conditions apply.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, so no. Fully 1 week. Nah. Telling you. Yeah, massive dragon. I see that. About 10, let them make a hard on man. Me a 38, man. But you are 92. Yeah. You need the number 1 run, man. What is that easy? No, what? Nice. Yeah. Number 1. Ah, yeah, me too, man.
Whether sipped neat, mixed into a classic cocktail, or savored on the rocks, our rum delivers a taste that captivates and satisfies. Choose greatness. Choose Classcoat, the number 1 rum. Produced by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Paying is faster and easier with Flow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press Consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Flow, keeping you connected.
We're back. The Labukan Training Center has announced a new date for its highly anticipated Act I Do, which was postponed due to the passage of Hurricane Beryl. More in this Rena Pett Thomas report.
The Labukan Training Center Act I Do, originally set to be performed at the end of June, was postponed to ensure the safety of attendees and participants due to severe weather conditions brought by Hurricane Beryl. The center has now announced that the event will take place this weekend at their headquarters in the GCNA building starting at 6 p.m. Artistic Director Francis Urias Peters reassured all ticket holders that their tickets remain valid for the rescheduled dates. He said the performances will be worth the wait.
Well, I do with a question mark. We started in the month of June, and the plan was to do 4 consecutive weekends. We did 3 weekends, and then the lady called Miss Beryl, the stormy lady, showed up, so we had to postpone the last weekend, which was the 29th and the 30th of June. So here we are once again. We will be restaging that final weekend on Saturday, that's this weekend, the 13th of July, and Sunday, the 29th of July. So we are happy to make that announcement because they had purchased tickets for those the last 2 weekends. So the ticket holders, letting them know that those tickets are valid. If you have Saturday tickets, let's say for the 29th, you will be accommodated on the 13th, that's this Saturday, and those who have the tickets for the 30th of June, the Sunday the 13th, those tickets will be valid.
Peters said the play will also be featured in St. Andrew on a date to be announced.
The only little challenge we have, and it's a good one, that it's a very intimate space. We hold 85, we can squeeze 100, but there's a tight squeeze. So every time one person comes to the theater and they tell 10 more, then people want to come back based on the response, because word of mouth advertisement is the best, and we are so happy here that the word is spreading, and that's why we will have to go to Grenville, and then possibly, because Carnival isn't there, we most likely will have to have a repeat, maybe a weekend or two at La Buchan Creative Center again, because the public, they are asking for that production, and hopefully we're still in the plans, looking at a possible date for the staging of the play at the Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. But this weekend is for the patrons who have the tickets, and it was a sold-out weekend again, so we are looking forward again, as we said, to restaging this final weekend.
La Buchan Training Center looks forward to welcoming the audience this weekend for what promises to be a captivating and memorable performance. Renapa Thomas, GBN News.
Looking forward to it. Sports news coming up next.
Over the years and presently, customers have been winning exciting prizes while ensuring that benefits are realized for all Grenadians by supporting the games of the National Lotteries Authority.
I am Patrick Simmons, former Minister for Sports and National Athlete. The NLA has made significant investment in nation-building activities. Among them are the construction of health, sporting, cultural, educational, and community facilities. Additionally, they continue to provide funding to non-governmental organizations and individuals throughout the Tri-Island state. I support the NLA's mandate because I can see where the money goes.
Playing the games of the NLA guarantees support for sports, culture, and nation building throughout the Tri-Island state of Grenada.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Grenville, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Good evening, sporting fans. The West Indies finished 2 of the first test at Lord's on 79 for 6 in their second innings, still trailing by 171 and clutching at straws. They started their second innings after tea, having kept England to a lead of 250 through Jaden Seals's FUFA. Seals had figures of 4 for 77, while Holder and Moti grabbed 2 wickets apiece. England had earlier started the day on 189 for 3, a lead of 60 28, eventually reaching 371 for 10. The West Indies' second innings, however, seemed like deja vu. Like the opening act on day one, Captain Craig Brathwaite failed to shine, falling with the score on 12 in the 8th over. The second wicket fell with a score of 17. It was then 32 for 3, slipping to 37 for 4. Athenaeus, Holder and Joshua De Silva did just enough to drag the match into a third day. Well, Windward Island's Volcanoes at stumps were 27 without loss in their second innings of the CWI Rising Stars Men's Under-19 tournament. This after restricting Jamaica to 146 in their first innings. Windwards were earlier bowled out for 135. The championship was initially set to commence on July 2, with a 3-day competition preceding a 50-over tournament. The updated format will feature 4 rounds of 2-day matches and 5 rounds of 50-over matches. We can tell you too, day one saw the fall of 20 wickets as the Volcanoes were earlier in the day bowled out for 135. 4 Grenadians are on the Windward squad. They are Kurt and Kurtzin Murray, Rickle Sylvester and Devonnie Joseph. Colombia is heading to the Copa America Championship game for the first time in 23 years after a contentious win over Uruguay, in which it played the second half a man shot and players brawled with fans in the stands following the final whistle. Jefferson Lerma scored in the 39th minute for a 1-0 win Wednesday night and a matchup with Lionel Messi and defending champion Argentina on Sunday. Colombia extended its unbeaten streak to a team record 28 games, one more from 1992-1994, and the longest current streak in men's international soccer. Defending champion Argentina and Colombia meet at Miami Gardens, Florida, in the tournament finale. Uruguay stays in Charlotte to meet Canada in Saturday night's third-place match. That's the sports news for now. Reconstituted National Committee on Reparations in Trinidad and Tobago said it is committed to pushing forward justice for crimes committed against those who were enslaved. This week is National Reparations Week, which focuses on repairing damage caused by 500 years of slavery, colonialism, and the Middle Passage. Culture and communications consultant Attila Springer suggests that reparations are not just about the past, but also about the future. She said it's about dealing with the trauma past crimes have caused and how such trauma has affected today's historical, spiritual, and cultural norms.
The reconstituted National Committee on Reparations said it is committed to pushing forward justice for crimes committed against those enslaved. This week is National Reparation Week, which focuses on repairing damage caused by 500 years of slavery, colonialism, and the Middle Passage. Culture and communications consultant Attila Springer suggests that reparations is not just about the past, but also the future. It is about dealing with the trauma past crimes have caused and how these have affected today's historical, spiritual, and cultural norms.
We need to address ways that we can begin to redress those forms of trauma, those forms of underdevelopment that exist and that persist in our spaces, so that we can move forward with a future that is clear and that is bright and that, acknowledges our history, but we are no longer victims or survivors of the trauma of our histories.
According to Ms. Springer, a public lecture will be held on Wednesday afternoon exploring the topic with an eye to restitution for negative genocide and enslavement.
This talk is being led by a climate lawyer and somebody who has been working with indigenous communities up and down the world, in fact, and attending climate conferences, etc., etc. Her name is Caroline Mayer-Toby, and she's going to be leading us in that discussion on exploring restitution and reparatory justice for Native genocide and enslavement.
Ms. Springer said this week there will be even more events aimed at raising awareness and educating the public, with a focus on educating youth about reparations in both Trinidad and Tobago.
Kenyan President William Ruto has sacked nearly all of his cabinet ministers. He has promised to form a new government that will be lean and efficient following weeks of deadly protests over high taxes and poor governance there. Ruto has cancelled the proposed tax increases, but demonstrations have continued amid calls for him to resign.
To emancipate Kenya's working poor. He won that election by a whisker and with a low turnout. Since then, economic times have got harder, and what we've seen is growing criticism, particularly on social media, of the government, of Ruto's ministers and other appointees for flagrant displays of wealth, for many of them having implications in past corruption scandals. Charges were dropped when Ruto came to power and appointed them. Criticisms for alleged incompetence, for many senior people in government lacking even the legal requirements of qualifications to fulfill their roles. And it was in this context of growing discontent and a widespread perception of incompetence and corruption at the top that when the government asked people to pay more taxes in the form of trying to put the finance bill through Parliament, second year in a row of tax increases, that's what took people to the streets. And now it wasn't just the protests, which of course we saw in about 50 different towns and cities across Kenya, and they were joined by people from different socio-economic groups. But the fact that lawyers, institutions, doctors' associations, even some religious leaders came out supporting this movement has revealed a serious legitimacy crisis faced by President William Ruto's government. That's been expressed by people on the streets who started calling for Ruto to go. But if you speak to almost anybody, from a market trader to a taxi driver to a lawyer, there's a deep discontent with the government in Kenya, and it's the protests seem to have just revealed that and brought that to the attention of the government. And so for many commentators and many of those demonstrators, then Ruto firing his entire cabinet is one of the only things he could do to try and restore legitimacy or perception of legitimacy among so many Kenyans, or it's the only thing he could do short of resigning himself in the eyes of those many protesters who've been chanting, Ruto must go.
Samsung Electronics union representatives in South Korea say they are committed to an indefinite strike. Workers are demanding better pay and conditions. Most of the staff are in its semiconductor business. The tech firm says production and deliveries won't be interrupted. But workers say they are ready for a long battle.
Thousands of members of Samsung Electronics' largest union have declared an indefinite walkout, the first in the company's history. They're hoping to pressure management to meet their demands, including a salary increase, better working conditions, and a more transparent bonus system. Most work in semiconductors, according to the National Samsung Electronics Union. Its leaders in a live stream pledged a prolonged fight.
Our struggle needs to become stronger. If it diminishes, management will hold out and look down on us.
Not long after the union declared its intention to fight on, Samsung reiterated that the strike won't affect its production or distribution. The company says that it remains committed to engaging in good faith negotiations with the union.
The industrial action comes as Samsung's chip business is recovering from a losing streak in 2023 and racing to catch up with smaller competitors to produce high-bandwidth memory chips that support artificial intelligence. Analysts warn that if a prolonged strike causes delivery delays, it could have consequences not just for Samsung and its customers, but for South Korea's export-driven economy as well.
The concern is the country's credibility could fall. The stock market would be severely impacted, as well as the exchange rate. There could be widespread negative economic repercussions. This must be avoided.
Samsung recently forecast first-half profits of more than 1,000% higher compared with last year.
We'll remind you of the headlines right after this. Headlines, if you're just tuning into the news, police investigating the death of Hope St. Andrew resident Devon Francis. New date issued for CARICOM heads of government meeting. Lucy Leck team arrives in Grenada to assist with the restoration of electricity. Also in the news regionally, Trinidad and Tobago's reconstituted National Committee on Reparations seeking justice for slavery. Internationally, Kenyan president dismisses most members of his cabinet after weeks of protests. Plus in the sports news, Rising Stars Under-19 tournament bowls off in St. Vincent, while West Indies suffer another trying day at Lord's. That's all from us in the GBN newsroom. I'm Kenroy Baptiste. Thank you for choosing the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Always a delight coming on to present the news. See you soon. Goodbye.